Hey everyone, I'm Joyce. Today is Saturday, December 5th. I have to look. It's December 5th, 2020. In my last video, I talked about this book that I purchased, one of two, Eat for Life. I'll put it up real close by Dr. Fuhrman. And I am ready to start chapter 7 of this out of 9 chapters. And I just thought, I'd like to share this. So I'm going to read a little bit of this every day post to share with you guys. I've mentioned that I've had some health problems that you wouldn't think to just see me, and I never thought, but apparently I've got some immune system problems, and who knows, maybe some other things. I've talked over the past year or so, couple years I guess, about mild depression, lack of motivation, lack of focus, yeah, a lot of stuff like that. And I believe that following this nutritarian way of eating will help with that. So it seems appropriate that I would share that with you guys. So I'm going to just get right into it. I'll try to keep it like around 15 minutes. I will start with the inside cover. Why not? Okay, so Dr. Fuhrman says, as a family physician for over 30 years and a #1 New York Times best-selling author, Dr. Joel Fuhrman, MD, will tell you that doctors and medications cannot grant you excellent health or protection from disease and suffering. The most effective health care is proper self-care, and that starts with changing the way we eat. Eat for Life delivers a science-backed, nutrition-based program that prevents and even reverses most medical problems within 3 to 6 months. This is a bold claim, but the tens of thousands who have tried this approach know just how well it works. The truth is, you simply do not have to be sick. Most Americans are deficient in the vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients found in plants, micronutrients, and consume too many fats, proteins, and carbohydrates, macronutrients. The result of this standard diet is that we are not only shortening our lives, but damaging our energy, vitality, and daily health by eating packaged and processed foods, excessive meat and dairy, and unsustainable amounts of salt and sugar. What we need is to consume foods rich in phytonutrients such as greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. These delicious and abundant foods contain the largest assortment of micronutrients, and when consumed in adequate quantities, they prevent and reverse diabetes and heart disease, lower cholesterol and blood pressure, and reduce hunger and food cravings. Rooted in the latest nutritional science and complete with recipes, menu plans, and testimonials, Eat for Life offers everything you need to change the course of your health and put this life-changing program to work for you. And I will read the dedication too, because I think it's an important part of it. This book is dedicated to all people suffering with serious medical issues who were never informed that they could recover their health with nutritional excellence. The lack of information has denied them their inalienable rights. I apologize for getting emotional. Okay, and I will start with the introduction. I'll just read the first part of the introduction because, like I said, I want to try to keep this at about 15 minutes. The nutritarian diet. What should we call a diet designed to slow aging and maximize human lifespan? Which portfolio of foods best protects against cancer and dementia in later life? Despite all the confusion, is there one diet style that accurately and comprehensively addresses every nutritional feature that promotes longevity, that can be used as the gold standard of healthy eating for the modern world? If so, such a diet cannot be judged on popularity. It cannot be judged by critics looking for mass appeal or making judgments based on limited knowledge or bad science or food preferences. It can only be judged accurately by knowledgeable individuals who have no preconceived dietary biases or food preferences. These individuals use impartial scientific thinking to review the supportive science to see whether the preponderance of evidence supports the conclusions. After decades of rigor and scientific study, it is possible to conclude that the nutritarian diet is that pinnacle of excellence in the nutritional world. I coined the term nutritarian to label and identify this nutrient-rich diet style and to set it apart from other diets. By paying attention not just to vitamins and minerals, but also to the thousands of other phytonutrients, that is, the beneficial chemicals found in plants, that are essential for maximizing immune function, such a diet style can have profound effects on extending health span, meaning the number of years we can expect to be healthy, and lifespan. Thousands of people around the world now call themselves nutritarians because they eat a nutrient-dense, plant-rich diet for better health and a better life. Simply put, a nutritarian is a person who strives for more micronutrients, all the vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants essential for health, per calorie in their diet. Nutritarians seek to consume a broad array of micronutrients via their food choices because they understand that food has powerful disease-protecting and therapeutic effects. The foods with the highest micronutrients per calorie are vegetables, and for optimal health and to combat disease, it is necessary to consume an adequate amount and variety of vegetables. Nutritarians optimize their health potential by making food choices based on nutritional quality. This evaluation of the nutritional quality of what one eats should also include foods with documented effectiveness to improve immunity. A nutritarian diet includes a full array of those foods with the most evidence for fighting cancer and prepares those foods in a manner that ensures and enhances the beneficial activity of their nutrients. While some foods may not have an elevated micronutrient density per calorie, they may still have, While some foods may not have an elevated micronutrient density per calorie, they may still contain particularly effective phytonutrients that scientific studies have demonstrated to prevent cancer. Cooked mushrooms are a perfect example of a food that does not have high levels of vitamins and minerals compared with other foods. However, their unique compounds are powerfully protective against cancer, making them an integral part of a nutritarian diet. As you begin to see, this approach is all about understanding which foods best help support our bodies and minds, and bringing those foods to our plates every single day. Many people argue that there are various best diets depending on genetics and unique individuality. In other words, they believe that each individual has a different ideal diet that is based on specific genetic makeup. But does this accurately express the consensus of modern nutritional science compared with my argument that a nutritarian diet is the most powerful, life-extending diet style for the human species? This book examines with compassion, understanding, and insight all of the latest scientific research and dietary theories available to readers. It will help those interested in nutritional science, health, and longevity to clarify their thoughts about nutrition and be able to articulate the most critical and important elements to modify their own choices. In addition, this book provides readers with sound knowledge so they can help guide others who struggle with conflicting information, misinformation, and myths that make up much of the public debate about food and diet. I have dedicated my life to investigating these issues so I can be clear in stating that all the evidence points conclusively to the nutritarian diet as being the single most powerful approach to sustain excellent health and a long life. That was the purpose of its design. Yet this is not to say that minor adjustments should not be made for people with varying genetics, medical conditions, and food intolerances. These modifications, however, can be moderate and not impair the effectiveness of this dietary model as long as the adjustments to accommodate individual differences are consistent with the basic principles of the science regarding human longevity explained throughout this book. For example, whether you are a vegan, you don't eat animal products, or for some biological reason you thrive better with some animal products in your diet, both approaches are governed by the same underlying biological and nutritional elements that shape a person's health destiny. The more the basic principle of eating a dietary portfolio with micronutrient excellence can be adhered to, while adjusting the food choices to fit individual constraints, the more predictable the slowing of the aging process and the protection against cancer. It is only through an understanding of all the critical concepts of human nutrition that one can become enabled and empowered to most effectively make healthy food choices every day. This book is a guide to help you do just that. And that's the end of that part. So we're still in the introduction, but we're starting the next part. I don't know. Let me see. It's been 10 minutes. Let's read the next part. The next part is You Are the Cure. I have been part of the medical community as a family physician for more than 30 years, and I can tell you that drugs and doctors cannot grant you excellent health or protection against disease and suffering. Almost every doctor knows this. The most effective healthcare is proper self-care. Reading this book, practicing the nutritarian plan, and mastering its techniques will provide you with the best possible self-care, nutritional excellence. The nutritional excellence I'm describing here can prevent and even reverse most medical problems within 3 to 6 months. This is a bold claim, but the facts, supported by scientific research and literature, show that most medical problems and medical tragedies we face in the modern world are the result of nutritional folly. Our standard American diet, otherwise known as SAD, has produced a sickly nation, one in which the majority of people are taking prescription drugs by the time they reach the age of 50. Your body is made of the foods you eat, and when you eat the SAD, you get the diseases that most other Americans get. Almost 40% of Americans die of heart attacks and strokes. You don't have to be one of them. 28 million Americans suffer from the crippling pain of osteoarthritis. You don't have to be one of them. 35 million Americans suffer from chronic headaches. You don't have to be one of them. More than 100 million Americans have diabetes or prediabetes. You don't have to be one of them. 1/3 of people older than 85 develop dementia. You don't have to be one of them. 38% of Americans are diagnosed with cancer, and you don't have to be one of them. You simply do not have to be sick. We consider it normal to lose youthful vigor in our early 40s, carry 30 to 40 extra pounds, live with chronic illness in our late 40s and 50s, and live our last decades dependent on others. But all this should not be considered normal. These expectations are the result of a lifelong pattern of unhealthy living and misguided information. We should look forward to enjoying an active life well into our 90s. This seems like an outrageous expectation because most people spend a lifetime consuming an unhealthy diet. They don't make the connection that we are what we eat, and ill health in the later years of our lives is the result of earlier poor choices. I have cared for more than 15,000 patients. Most of them first came to my office unhappy, sick, and overweight having tried every dietary craze without success. After following the Nutritarian educational program for superior health and weight loss, they shed the weight they always dreamed of losing and kept it off easily. Most important, they were able to eventually discontinue their medications because they simply didn't need them anymore. When you've learned and follow the Nutritarian program of eating, it is possible to never have a heart attack or stroke, avoid dementia in later life, dramatically reduce your chance of getting cancer, prevent and heal digestive problems such as reflux, indigestion, constipation, and hemorrhoids, prevent and often resolve erectile dysfunction, high blood pressure, and other circulatory impairments, reverse and resolve autoimmune diseases such as psoriasis, lupus, and rheumatoid arthritis, prevent and reverse diabetes type 2 and high cholesterol, eventually making drugs unnecessary, and age more slowly, live longer, and maintain youthful vigor, intelligence, and productivity into your later years. Some people may be skeptical that I can make such radical claims, but these statements are supported by medical science as well as by thousands of clinical patient case histories. The reversal of diet-caused diseases occurs in a relatively short time and is easily observed by anyone who has a chronic disease who is following the Nutritarian program. However, don't make any decisions about starting the program yet. You first have to educate yourself by reading on. When you are ready to commit yourself to achieving superior health, I promise to make it almost impossible for you to fail. Okay, I'll end there. So that is the beginning of Dr. Joel Fuhrman's book, Eat for Life, once again. And this was copyrighted this year, 2020. Yeah, it just says 2020. So that's it. And I will take you guys along as I read through it again. I'm going to continue from chapter 7, but one of the things he mentioned a couple times in there was about eating sufficient quantities of these foods. And I think that's one of the things that I was doing wrong when I was eating vegetarian, was I wasn't eating enough. I wasn't getting enough calories because I wasn't eating enough vegetables. I mean, I ate what I thought was proper because if it had been other food that, like lots of meat and dairy and stuff like that, it would have been a more proper amount what I was eating. But to eat this way, it wasn't enough. So anyway, I have already started that. I'm not going cold turkey, so to speak. I'm gradually integrating, so I'm adding the vegetables. I do already eat a lot of fruit, so I am gradually adding more vegetables while I'm also eating with Doug, who recently ordered the HelloFresh meal delivery subscription, and that's definitely not nutritarian. So 3 days a week, 3 nights a week, I eat with him from the HelloFresh, but I'm adding like greens or a salad, a big salad to that. So I'm modifying what he's preparing by adding things, adding more vegetables and beans and mushrooms usually. So that's it. I will close, and I will read another portion of the introduction tomorrow. And I will put, as I go, I'll put links in the description to Dr. Fuhrman's website, and he has a lot of words he uses that I'll probably just put definitions for in the description as well, because he'll say what they are in the beginning, but as you go, you kind of have to remember, and I'm not great at remembering stuff like that. I have to keep turning back to it. So I'll do that in the description as well. So now I will end this video and I will read again tomorrow. See ya.